Let me ask you, when did the dad jokes start coming alive for you? Because you're known for them. In fact, in the neighbor media, in the newspaper that we have our, they have their dad joke.
People have mentioned that to me.
So
I told this guy, like I just tell jokes wherever I go, and this guy goes, "Hey, you're the guy in that paper." He goes, "I didn't think it was a real person."
Are you? This is episode 4, Conversations with Main Street Realty, and I've got one of the nicest people I've ever known, Glenn Rodger. Did I say that correct, Glenn?
You did. It's
okay,
R-O-D-G-E-R. You got it right. You said the D too.
Yeah,
I could hear the D.
Yeah, well, the first time I introduced you to someone, I said, Glenn Rodgers. And you looked at me and said, there's no S. And I'm like, okay.
If I said something, it's because I like you.
I
usually
know
don't
that.
say anything.
I know. So we met just through events and stuff like that. And you do photos. Where were you born? Let's start off with that.
I was born August 4th, 1961, at 8:23 a.m., Women's College Hospital in Toronto, Canada, planet Earth.
Wow, Toronto. Okay, I was born in Toronto too.
I was born the same day and year as Barack Obama, the former president of the United States.
Really?
The country just south of us.
Yes. Wow. Okay. Well, that's nice to know. I don't know who my birthday is August 11th. I have no idea who famous was born on mine. Probably nobody, but that's good. Barack. I like Barack.
Where were you born? What
Toronto. So I was born at Toronto General. I think Toronto General Hospital, not Scarborough General. And we lived above a store at Danforth and Danforth. Right beside a street called Byng Avenue, but where the two Danforths meet. So did you grow up in Toronto?
Well, so Women's College, where I was born, is now amalgamated. Mike Harris, the former premier, amalgamated all the hospitals, or a number of them. Branson Hospital became North York General. And Women's College became Toronto General. So I was born near North York General Hospital. I was born at Women's College, but I grew up in Willowdale near North York General, Yonge and Shepherd.
Yeah, and, that's a nice area.
Yeah, so it was. My parents had a small bungalow. And I still have friends from back there and from that area, and I had a great upbringing.
Oh, that's great. No, we lived in a small bungalow. We lived above a store, and then my dad bought his first house in Scarborough. Cost like $14,000. 4-bedroom bungalow, 1 washroom, Glenn, and no garage. And in my home, there was my dad, my mom, 4 of us kids, and my grandmother. And somehow we all survived on 1 washroom.
So we had 1 washroom, and we didn't have air conditioning. I didn't have air conditioning until my parents had a small, like 5,000 BTU air conditioner put in the kitchen window when I was a teenager. And I didn't have air conditioning in my car. And I remember people said, "Do you have air conditioning?" I go, "Yeah." I go, 480. I go, "What do you mean?" I go, "I drive 8 miles an hour and roll 4 windows down." That's my air conditioning.
Yes.
And it worked.
Yeah. No. Well, I was spoiled. I had air conditioning.
Oh, nice.
My dad, so I was used to it. So I remember when I bought my first house, for a gift, my dad bought me a central air because I wouldn't be able to afford it. I forget what it cost back then, but
my parents immigrated from Scotland.
Really?
So they're from Glasgow. So they moved here in 1956, and they took a boat, and it took them 3 weeks to get here. And they landed in Montreal. And then came to Lindsay. They lived in Lindsay. My uncle, my dad's uncle, sponsored them. And then they moved to Toronto, and then I was born here. It was their first home. They paid, I think, around $11,000 for it. And then they sold it with a 25-year, 2% mortgage.
Wow.
And they sold it in 1987 for $350,000. And the market was going up, and then they sold. A few people did. Then it crashed. It went down to like $200,000. And they moved to Bond Head, Ontario, just outside Bradford.
Okay, I know where that is. That's great.
And and so that's it. Then I moved. So I met my wife in Toronto, and we lived in Yonge and Shepherd area. And then we moved. We bought a house in Newmarket, 2003.
Oh, okay.
September 27th, 2003. That's when we moved, and that's when That's the one that closed, but we didn't move in for another 2 weeks.
Are you in the same house?
We're in the same house. So I've only lived in 4 places in my entire life.
Really?
I lived with my parents. I got a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
And my wife and I got a 2-bedroom apartment that's where we had our children. And then from there we moved here, and I'm pretty, like, I've been buying cars off the same guy since 1990, Andy Brooks in Aurora at McAlpine Ford, and I go to the same dentist since 1987. Yep. So he retired, and then the son took over, and now he's retiring, and the daughter. So and I've been married for 35 years, 6 months, and 15 days.
Wow. So for me, I've probably in my life lived in at least 20 different spots.
Oh, really?
But my parents, they bought their house in Scarborough in 1960, and they lived there their whole life.
Nice.
To this day, my sister still lives there.
Oh, wow.
We never did sell it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I remember
the whole life.
I remember when I met you. It was at the Dancing with Easter Seals.
Okay.
And
Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, and you came over, and I just loved your vibe. I just love your energy, and you just like to have fun.
I forgot who. Somebody told me you gotta meet Glenn Rodger.
Oh, that's nice.
I can't remember who it was. Oh my goodness, because I can remember seeing you, and I was sneaking up on you like that. But I don't remember who it was. But somebody said you got to meet this guy. He's got a great vibe, and he's got great dad jokes. So let me ask you, when did the dad jokes start coming alive for you? Because you're known for them. In fact, in the neighbor media, in the newspaper, we have our, they have their dad joke every month, a new dad joke.
Yeah, they've been doing that for
So
a few
you're
years.
kind of famous for those?
People have mentioned that to me. So I told this guy, like, I just tell jokes wherever I go, and this guy goes, "Hey, you're the guy in that paper." He goes, "I didn't think it was a real person."
Oh, yeah.
But my mom, so my favorite joke, which I don't tell as much anymore because people who are under like 25 don't get it, but did you hear about the 2 antennas that got married?
No.
The wedding wasn't that good, but the reception was excellent.
I love that one.
So my mom told me that joke. So my mom is the one that told me all these jokes. So, and I have some jokes now that she told me, but because of the climate now, you can't tell jokes with any.
Things have changed.
Yeah.
We got to be careful what we say because, we want to respect everybody and not say anything that's going to hurt their feelings or anything.
Well, the only
like
joke
that.
I told I won't tell now, but it's about Scottish people. My mom's Scottish.
Yeah.
So it was just, actually, I'll tell it anyway. So there's these 3 guys, and the English guy, Irish guy, and Scottish guy, and they're hanging out with their wives for dinner. So the English guy goes, "Pass the honey." And the Irish guy goes, "Pass the sugar." And the Scottish guy goes, "Pass the tea bag." So that's I told that joke somewhere. It was a lot of older Scottish people, and this lady didn't like it.
Really?
So I haven't told it since. But I just thought but that's as bad as my mom would get it.
Yeah. I mean, that isn't that bad.
No, but I wanted to say it in case, whatever. Yeah. But yeah.
So you're kind of famous for doing that. When we walked in the Terry Fox run this year, actually, I believe there was a cop there that was holding back traffic and that. Was he not the same guy and remembered your joke from the year past? Remember when we walked along and you asked him and he said, "No, I know that." He knew the joke. Yeah. But I think he was the same guy.
So I'm a big supporter of police.
Yeah.
And whenever I see police, wherever I like to travel.
Yeah.
And I always go, I support the police.
Absolutely.
Everywhere. It doesn't matter where I am.
Yeah, I agree.
And a lot of times people, the police officers will just like this. But since the pandemic, they've really shown, But wherever I go, I always go up to the police and tell them jokes. So I was in Stouffville recently, and I'm walking. It was the Stouffville Strawberry Festival.
Okay.
And it was raining, so it wasn't really happening.
Yeah.
So we were leaving, and there was supposed to be a car show on the street. They had it closed, but there wasn't much happening. And the police officers, I go, "Hey, how you doing?" He goes, "Hey, you got a joke for me?" And that was in Stouffville. But I just love whoever I talk to, wherever I go. I just like telling jokes. I love positive energy.
Yeah. Well,
so
you
I
know
just
what?
Like doing it.
I think you're right, and the thing is that there's a lot of negativity in the world, a lot of bad things happening, and a lot of people, like, I'm very grateful to live in Canada. I think you and I are really lucky to live
100%.
here and live the life we can live in this country, right? Yes. So for me, nice dad jokes, make somebody laugh, make their day. That's what life's all about if we can do it, right? I mean, we should be trying to be happy and positive throughout our day and our week and our month and our year, right?
I don't
It's,
really think like I've traveled, like I go to the United States every year. I like
yep,
going and I like driving. So this
yep.
year I went to Boston and took a tour of Fenway and I went to the Bobby Orr statue with my Terry Fox shirt on. And
Yep.
Bobby Orr was a big fan of Terry.
Yep.
But like just our medical system here, people complain about that, and our government. But I mean, overall, we're doing well. And I want to be positive. So I'm fighting for positivity all the time. So I'm attracted to positive energy, and I
Yeah.
look for positive energy. So I tell people jokes,
Yeah.
and sometimes I become friends instantly from just talking to them because we got the same vibe.
Yeah.
But whoever it is, I'm going to bring positive energy to them. And that's my attitude.
I agree. Like, there can be a lot of complaints, for instance, about our medicals and our hospitals and this and that. But for me, I love our doctors. I love our nurses. And I think our hospitals are amazing. Are they perfect? Do we have long wait times sometimes? Do we have to wait for certain things? The answer is yes, but we don't live in a perfect world. But I'm pretty grateful for our healthcare system that we've got here. I mean, when you're down in the States, you pay your bill first, or they're not taking care of you because it's a business, right? I mean,
Oh
they
yeah.
want to make money, so we're extremely fortunate here, and I'm happy about that. So for you, you're a photographer,
Yes.
so you've got your own studio, like Glenn Rodger's studio.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I have. So I do photography.
Yeah.
I have a home studio for headshots.
Okay.
And my oldest son just moved out recently, so I've turned it into a studio.
Oh,
So
great.
and I've been staying pretty busy with that. And I do for, magazine covers. The
Oh,
neighbor
okay.
newspaper, I do their cover. I have been, except for
Oh.
one cover I didn't do.
Oh, so you do most of the covers.
I have been.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what I do need from you is a headshot. I think my headshot, Glenn, that I use now was from 1992.
92. So 93, the Leafs, the last time they did well in the playoffs. So
So that's
yeah,
so it's time.
yeah.
It's time for the
So,
Leafs
yeah,
to
so
win.
we'll do
it's
a-
time
yeah,
for me
I'm
to get
ready.
an updated headshot.
I will get a majestic
Yeah,
headshot.
I mean the thing with me is this, right? My brain still thinks I'm 18, okay? And it's only when I look in the mirror that I realize I'm not 18. But my headspace, even though the body for me is aging, the brain so far, I'm lucky, isn't. So when I look at that picture from 1992, that's how I want to remember myself. But it's time. It's time. So a lot of people, let me ask you something. A lot of people, like, we can take pictures. We got our iPhones, we've got a camera, but there really is, which I tell people in the real estate industry, I say, you can take a picture and I can take a picture, like to the seller, but we really need a professional that they have better equipment, and there definitely is a skill to taking a good picture. I mean, I can grab a picture, but when I take a picture, my wife goes, "Well, this is crooked and this is off." Like, but they're really you've acquired quite a skill to take a better picture than the average person, right?
Well, I feel for me, it's all about energy. So if I'm taking a picture of you, I am bringing that. I want it to pop. So
Okay.
doing a headshot, so I can speak a few words in every language. So I can, whatever language you speak, I'm gonna bring that out of you. I'm gonna get a
Okay.
good photo. Like Urdu, I like saying "Zindagi bahut achhi hai." That's life is amazing, and pretty well all the Indian languages.
Oh, really?
So that just you'll hear me yell that. Like I love that. So that will bring out positive energy. So just bringing out seeing it in the eyes. So I want to see in your eyes. I want to see that. So that's what I look
Okay.
for.
Oh,
and
okay.
and lighting has a lot to do with
Yeah.
photos. Like right now, I'm looking at you right now. I'm just
Yeah.
my brain's analyzing the lighting, like the dark
lighting.
one. So yeah.
Okay.
So but yeah, no, I love photography. I love things that move. So I do like live music. I love photographing live music. I've shot at the Budweiser stage a few times. Most of the musicians in the area I've probably photographed.
Really?
Oh yeah, and
Like, have you done Manny and Patrick Faulkner and Glenn Murray and all those guys?
I've been photographing those guys for years.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Manny. I'm a big fan. Yeah, Manny. Manny. He's now involved with the Toronto Blues Society, which is a huge thing, and the blues music. That's the thing with the media now is everything's kind of scattered out. So, like there might be like a band that sells out the Rodger Center, but some of us don't know about it because there's a certain
That's right.
group. So, so he's really doing work. Glenn Murray, I've seen him. He used to be very shy when I first met him. He's doing really well for himself. He actually sang a song he wrote for Terry Fox this year. He sang it every year, but this year he's acoustic version, and I can't remember if he did it acoustic in the past, but it was beautiful. The Terry Fox run a few days ago on September 15th was amazing this year. Everybody's there, including yourself.
Yeah.
But I thought the weather was perfect. It was a great walk, but that was good. He really did a good job with that. And then Patrick Faulkner, that guy's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like he's probably one of my favorite local guys. They all are. They're all good. There's
Bianca Rollo's another one.
I don't really know her that well.
Oh, she's really
I
good.
want to photograph. I've seen her, but not really.
Yeah.
But I want to photograph her.
She does what they call the Burning Red Riders Round. So
Okay.
what she does is she does it above the Old Flame, one Tuesday every month, except starting in October she switches to Sunday.
Okay.
And she gets 3 or 4 singer-songwriters there, and they tell their story, and they tell about how they created the music, and they sing an original song.
I love it.
And it's a magical night. It starts at 7. I think it ends around 9:30.
Okay.
And it's a nice setting. You know, they have couches and chairs and.
Oh yeah, I've been there a few times.
Yeah.
Actually, so Patrick Faulkner was there. It was a event for the food pantry. Julianne was there.
Okay.
Julianne Gaudette.
Yes.
She's an amazing person in Newmarket.
Yep.
Julianne, I think you're amazing.
Yeah.
And I did 2 videos of Patrick, and one of the songs was a J.J. Cale song, and I love J.J. Cale, and so I put it on my YouTube channel, and man, it's got like over 1,000 views on it. Like he is just
Really?
he's really something.
That's
and his
so-
band, the Faulkners, they are the best band going around.
Yes.
They want it so bad,
Yeah.
and I photographed them a number of times at the Vets Hall.
Okay. Yes. I know he does a lot there.
Yeah. No, I'm a big fan of his.
Well, we had a work party about 5 years ago, and we had the Faulkners, and we had it at the Market Brewery Center.
Nice.
And recently, we just had a party, and I hired him just to sing for a couple hours.
Perfect.
We had at the Old Flame,
Okay.
and he came for a couple hours, and I don't know, 30 agents were there, but he was amazing. And that J.J. Giles, do they have a
J.J.
top hit?
Cale.
J.J. Cale.
So
Do they have a big hit?
So he's from Oklahoma.
Okay.
He's passed away now. He was big in the
Okay.
'70s. So Eric Clapton sang a song called "I Shot the Sheriff."
Yeah, I remember that.
So actually, was that J.J. Cale wrote that? He Cocaine. He wrote the song "Cocaine."
He did.
That-
I used to love that way back.
Yeah,
When
that-
was that? 70s?
That was in
80s?
'75, maybe.
Okay,
So
yeah.
he wrote that, and then there's a song that Leonard Skinner made famous called "Call Me the Breeze."
Oh, okay. I
that's-
remember Freebird.
Freebird. So
That's-
Freebird was the first album,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
like, that's a classic
Oh,
song.
yeah.
And but the second album had "Call Me the Breeze." No, was that on? Yeah, "Call Me the Breeze" was on the second with Sweet Home Alabama album.
Okay.
But "Call Me the Breeze," he did a version of that, and that's the one that I shared that Patrick did, and he's got a few other songs that so it's J.J. Cale, but he's got a kind of a slow acoustic
Okay.
thing. But so he never made it to the mainstream like
Right.
But
A
there's
lot of talent doesn't make it, do they?
well, it's what do you consider
Yeah.
making it? Like my favorite band, my favorite musician is Warren Haynes. And
Okay.
he joined the Allman Brothers in 1989. That's where I first. Heard
Oh,
him.
okay.
And then he has his own band called Government Mule.
Oh, really?
So I photographed him in Edinburgh, Scotland, New York City, and Cleveland. I saw him.
Wow.
Toronto. Every time he comes to Toronto.
Yeah.
And I just he's the best. Like he's my favorite. So
Yeah.
And then this last Friday night we went to see a musician called Marcus King. You heard of him?
No.
So he's that Allman Brothers era, kind of like
Okay.
that Southern rock blues.
Okay.
So that's what I like. So that's what I followed. It sold out Massey Hall.
Really?
So there's that audience there, but it just, again, mainstream media, you're not going to hear about it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but these kind of musicians, once they get a fan base, they keep them.
They keep. When I was younger, one of my most favorite was Johnny Winter.
Oh man, Johnny.
Edgar was good. Edgar Winter was. But I like Johnny better.
So
Better than
I've seen Johnny.
Yep, Maple Leaf Gardens.
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen him at the Alma Combo. I lived in California for the summer of '83.
Okay.
I went down there and I went and saw Johnny Winter at the country club in the San Fernando Valley, just called the Valley.
Yeah.
And Johnny's like unbelievable. I've seen him many times, everywhere. I've seen him like every C&E.
Is he still with us?
No, he passed away
he
a number
did
of years
pass
ago.
away.
Yeah, it's been about 6 or 7 years.
Okay. Yeah. No, I loved his music. I mean, I
Yeah.
just loved him. I saw him. I forget what year, but Maple Leaf Gardens.
Oh yeah, Johnny's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So-
I like doing I do rodeo photography. Actually, during the pandemic, I did like nature photography. There wasn't much else to do, so I did birds in flight because I figured I was taking pictures of a bird in a tree. Like anybody can take a bird in a tree. That's my attitude. But birds in flight, that's hard.
Yeah.
So I learned it was hard to learn, and I got it. And Birds Canada gave me an award. They gave me all this stuff.
Really?
And then one time, my favorite. So I was in New York City, and you know that what is it called? Ellis Island. There's a ferry that's free. It goes over.
Yep.
And so when you leave, at the back, I took it right at sundown. So I got New York City, the skyline as the boat's leaving.
Yeah.
And I got epic shot, and Canon USA gave me a shout out for that.
Really?
Like I saw it, yeah, and also when you're crossing there, you get a picture of when the sun was coming down. I got a picture of the Statue of Liberty.
Oh,
So
that
that
would
was
be
good.
amazing.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of that.
So when you're out and around, you take the camera with you wherever you go? Like when you're walking in Boston, are you...
So when I'm traveling, So I always have a camera, but I use a smaller. I have a Canon, like a full frame camera.
Yeah.
But I have what's called a Rebel
Okay.
camera, so it's a smaller camera.
Yeah.
And I have a wide angle, it's 18, and it goes to 250, so it's one lens. And in daylight, it's a perfect lens. So
Oh.
whenever I'm traveling, and like it's not a theft item.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why I like to use that. So, and I also carry a little 50 in my pocket. So say if it's low light or there's a musician I want to photograph, like I'll pull that out.
Oh, okay.
So, but you wouldn't, if you looked at the photos, you wouldn't know. It's not good if it's dark,
Yeah.
but in daylight, they're good. So that's what I use.
Oh, okay.
And I keep it in a bag so you don't see it.
Yeah.
Even that, but it's not, I wouldn't carry like, I go to places, like I like traveling, I like being on
Yeah.
the road.
Yeah.
And I just
Yeah.
walk. I like walking around cities.
Fabulous. I like that too. you know.
Yeah, that's what
I think that's
my
great.
thing.
Because after you went to Boston, I went to Boston a couple weeks after you, but I went and saw, which I've been in Boston before, but you led me onto the street.
Acorn Street.
Yeah, which I never heard about before, the most filmed street. And I walked there from Cheers. I didn't
Hey, it's
know,
close, like
it's
15
really
minutes.
close.
Yeah.
So that was quite a street. That was
So-
quite a street.
Yeah, so that street, so Boston Common is right near. It's like basically a park, like a big
Right.
park, like the main park, and it's all around there, and everything's there. You can walk there. Quincy Market's near there. All
Yeah.
these different, So that street, it's from the 1600s.
Wow.
And it's one block, and it's all stone, and it's a private road now because the town wanted to change it.
Yeah.
But I looked it up, and said it was the most photographed street in Boston. But
Yeah.
when I got home, I looked it up, and it's the most photographed street in America.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
I mean, when I went there, people were standing there
Yeah.
and then tourists up and down the street. But it's like small pathway on both sides and then rocks going up the middle.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was interesting to see something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. Okay, so you got me joining your team, Team Majestic
Terry
for Terry
Fox.
Fox. What started because a lot of people were joining your team, especially this year and in past years. I just got hooked up to you last year for Terry Fox, but what drives you to do the Terry Fox run and raise money for cancer?
Well, I appreciate you asking that. So I've always liked Terry Fox. I remember Terry Fox when he was running.
Yeah.
I didn't meet him, but and we've done the Terry Fox run. My wife and I, the kids in the school. They did it with the school, and then I took photos for the Auroran newspaper.
Yeah.
For a number of years, and I still photograph for the Auroran. And in August 28th, 2018, I found out I had surgery for melanoma cancer.
Yeah.
So I had melanoma cancer stage 3C.
Wow.
And at that point, I had a 10% chance of living 5 years. So this immunotherapy, it's called Abdibo. It's called, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but it was a cancer research. Is the money that Kerry Fox raises
Yeah.
all goes to cancer research.
Yeah.
And this drug was new for cancer, and I was given this drug. It was tough with the different side effects, but I made it through it, and I'm still alive today. And that's what drove me. I have a passion for Terry Fox every day. That's all I think about is what can I. So when I went to the Bobby Orr statue in Boston,
Yeah.
I wore my Terry Fox shirt.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, we couldn't leave the country.
Yeah.
I went to the Terry Fox statue in Thunder Bay, which I went to the one in 2000. It was in a different place then.
Yeah.
So that's what drove me. And then 3 years ago, I decided to start a team. I was helping the Terry Fox Newmarket doing photos and there, but I didn't have a team. And I thought, okay, I'm going to start a team, and we did. And then people started, a few people joined and stuff. And then I appreciate you joining, you and your wife, Diana. Hey, Diana. And I just love it, and I think about it all the time, and I wear the last 100 days up until the Terry Fox one, I wore my Terry Fox shirt 97 days out of 100 everywhere, and the people that came up to me and talked to me about Terry Fox, like in Boston, I went to Salem, I go to all small towns, people come up to me, Terry Fox, and I like this year's shirt 'cause it's got a picture of him and it says, no matter what. A lot of Americans, they've seen the movie. They know Terry Fox in the movie. And then people will stop me. They'll tell me the story when they saw him. Recently, this lady said she worked at Queen's Park. All her and the lady she worked with, they all went out and they watched him, and she'll never forget it.
So I watched him on Kingston Road.
No, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, I was down. I'll never forget it. It was a fluke. I just happened there. I didn't know he was running. And I was on Kingston Road in the West Hill area, say around Lawrence and Morningside, but somewhere in that area. And he was on the other side of the street, and he just went, and I'm like, holy smokes. But he's bigger now than, at that time he was running, and we didn't know a lot. He was just doing his first run, I think, right? He did one run.
Well, yeah, so he basically he started in April, in I think it's the second, but I'm not sure, in 1980, and he averaged 26 miles a day for 143 days straight.
I couldn't do that.
On one leg.
I know. It's incredible.
And
it's incredible,
and
right?
when and I know a friend, Glenema, she ran with him for 17 days. She's responsible. I don't want to say responsible. She had a lot to do with bringing the statue to Richmond Hill.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she, and I've met other people involved.
Yeah.
Lori Osborne with Team Newmarket. She runs that. She's been doing amazing for 20 years. Hi, Lori. I want to put a shout out for her. And I just love Terry Fox.
Okay.
And
but you're a survivor.
Yeah. So basically, I didn't share with anybody I had cancer for the first 4 years.
Yeah.
I didn't tell people. People close to me knew.
Yeah.
People came and visited me, but I didn't put it on social media. I didn't want any. I just didn't want people to feel sorry for me or being nice to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the fourth year of my anniversary, I put it on Facebook that I had a team and I was raising money, and I made a lot of money that year. Because of that, I think, people, and before that, I wasn't ready to talk about cancer.
Yeah.
I wasn't strong enough mentally because people, once you put it out there, people are going to tell you their stories, which now I'm there, I can do it. But earlier, I still hadn't got my head around it all.
Yeah.
It took me about 3 years to recover because it was surgery on my ankle.
Yeah.
It's 5 millimeters deep, and I was swelling and I couldn't walk for a few years. Mm-hmm. The pandemic helped me. But again, I didn't share that, and I didn't.
Yeah.
And then this year, I didn't. I put on social media and asked people, but I didn't really push it because I didn't want people to feel sorry for me.
Well, I get that. I met MR Menswear. I went in there. Mike Radke.
I love him.
Yeah. So I don't know him that well, but I met him at the couple events. You were at them, but I met him at a couple events. And just recently found out that he's a cancer survivor. And, he had throat cancer. And Steve Hinder,
Oh, yeah, I love Steve.
Really helped him out a lot. So, it's I haven't been touched by a lot of people that had cancer, but it's a devastating disease. It's great that you raise money for the cause, because what you're doing is helping people. So it's amazing.
Mike, he had brain cancer. He's had different types of cancer.
Mike Radke?
Yeah, this guy, he's like unbelievable. He's like an inspiration to me. Like I really love him. And Mr. Hinder, I call him Steve Hinder, Mr. Hinder.
Yeah.
So he he helped Mike. Actually, I was talking to Mr. Hinder today.
Really?
Yeah, I saw him and we mentioned Mike, or I did. No, it's just, I guess because of I haven't seen him in a few.
Yep.
And he mentioned how he'd helped him,
Yep.
and but no, he's
The community rallied around Mike.
Oh yeah,
Mike told me that the community, because he does a lot for South Lake, and he does a lot of for people in communities. So when he needed help, the community rallied around him, and he's going strong today, right?
Yeah, no, he's
The guy looks great, man. The guy looks great.
No, he's amazing.
Yeah. So let me ask something. If people want to get a hold of you, do you have a phone number they could call? And do you do family photography, headshots? Do you do, like, if I was married with a couple of young kids, would you come in and take all those shots? Or what exactly would I look for in services from you?
So I have a website, glennrodger.com. So it's GLENNRODGER.
Okay.
.com. My phone number, you can call me anytime, but 647-283-2013, but please don't call between 2 and 4 in the morning.
Okay.
I say that to everybody. So I do a lot of headshots. I do family shots. I do events.
Oh, okay.
I basically do pretty well everything.
So if I'm doing a big birthday party for my cousin and I want it recorded, I can hire you to come in for the party and do that?
Yeah, so I do a lot of that. And so I'm doing a party coming up soon, and it's a 50th anniversary party.
Oh, nice.
So they always want this shot. So I need a shot list. What photos you want these people?
Okay.
And then somebody who can kind of help me point everybody out.
Got it.
So it's not like they got to be with me all the time.
Yeah.
So I'll do that, and I do a few weddings a year, but I don't really advertise for that.
Right.
And usually they're mixed weddings.
Right.
I told one of my buddy, I want to ask Ahmed. Ahmed's one of my best friends. He's a mortgage broker.
Oh, I like Ahmed.
Yeah, so
I don't know him that well, but I like him. He's a good guy.
We got to go out for lunch together.
Yes, he's a good guy.
So he's like my mentor. He's been so amazing to me. So he did photography. Now he still does a bit, but he does mortgage. So I told him I'm gonna do mixed photography, mixed couples, and he goes, man, that's the hardest type, right? So, but I do every type of. I'm pretty straight. Like I'll get the shot, and you can go on my website. I got photos there, and you can reach me on social media.
So just go to glennrodger.com.
Yeah.
And everything is there.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Well,
yeah.
You know what? I know people would be lucky to get you to help them in their special day or their family or even a headshot, because I know there is a huge skill to take a good picture. Like there really is. And I know that as people, we just go around and we click, and anybody can take a picture with a camera, but a good picture, I can't take a good picture, right? I can take a picture, Glenn, but I don't have the insight that you would have to know what a real good picture is, right? And so those are the awards that you've won. It's because of that, right?
Well, I do branding photos too.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. So I did something for this guy who wants to get into a different type of business. So we met 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
To get the lighting, we picked a spot.
Okay.
And we got some great photos there.
Oh.
Yeah, but I try to bring positive energy to what I'm doing, and I'll get the photo, and I'm fair price too. I'm not, and I'm never once I book you, once we confirmed,
We're solid.
I don't cancel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's no
wow.
So it's just like I'm in and that's it. So and if I need an assistant, I bring an assistant with me. It depends on the situation. When I do headshots, I have a portable studio. Yeah. So I go to real estate offices. Yeah. With my studio, it takes me about 10 minutes. I usually take 20 minutes to set up, but I can do it in 10 minutes. And then I have an assistant with me for that. And I do that. I've probably done over 500 headshots in 2024 so far.
You're kidding?
Yeah.
I had no idea you did that many.
And I've been to Wasim Jarrah. I just did. He's one of my buddies. Yeah. Shout out to Wasim Jarrah.
Yeah.
He sent
Lovely
me somebody from his office. I've done everybody in his office.
Really?
So he's
Nice.
been a big supporter of me, and I'm there for him whenever he needs me.
Yeah.
And
I like him.
yeah, so I try to build relationships with people.
Yeah, that's
and
the
it
way
just
to
goes
do it.
from there. And
That's the way to do it.
yeah, positive
So
energy.
we'll start. We'll make an appointment for my headshot.
Sounds
I
good.
desperately need one.
Yeah, but not between 2 and 4 in the morning.
Not between 2 and 4 in the morning. Okay, well, I think that's great. It was great talking to you today. The time went by fast. You're the type of guy I could talk to for hours and hours, but we're in the Napier podcast studio right now. How do you like the studio?
I love the studio.
Yeah, the studio is great.
I love the neighbor team.
I love the neighbor team.
These guys are positive people.
Yeah.
They're amazing. They're majestic.
I love that word because they do great things for the community. And I love spending time with Miles, Elisa, and Lynette. Lynette's your girl, right?
Yeah, they've been very good to me.
yeah.
I just love being around
they're
them.
great.
Yeah.
So this is their podcast studio. We'll have to do this again.
Thank you. I
Because
appreciate you having me on here, and I appreciate you. I just love the energy you bring wherever I see you. And
I think you and I are the same people.
I feel like we're both like big, like you said about we're still like 18 years old.
Yeah.
I was going to say, well, I feel like I'm like 21 because I was still kind of shy when I was 18. And I'm not shy anymore.
Well, 21's good. Either
Yeah.
way. No, I feel the same
Forever
way.
21. Is there something that says
There
that?
is.
Yeah, that's so
I
it
think
is.
there's a movie or something or a song, Forever 21.
Yeah.
So in my brain, I'll always be 21.
Yeah.
as
But that's
you
how I
say.
feel about you. Like,
Yeah.
when I first met you, I just love your vibe.
No, because I've never seen you. I never see you with a negative anything. I've never heard anything negative from you. You'll never hear anything negative from me. You and I, we live our days and our weeks and our months and our years on a positive note, right? I think the majority of people are negative. We don't need any more negativity.
I don't
in the
think
world.
there's that many negative people out there.
No?
No, I think that people want to be positive.
Okay.
You just got to
good.
bring it out of them.
Maybe
and
that's
sometimes they just need a hug. You know what I mean? You bring a hug out of them.
Yeah.
But I try to share the positive energy, and I just try to bring it out. And I think overall, I just think there's good people out there.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we finish this podcast right now and go out and give a hug to Lynette?
Yes.
Okay? Okay, great.
Thanks, brother.
Okay, my man.
Thank you.